What's up YouTube, and welcome back to LockettTech. As I mentioned in a previous video, today I have something a little different for you guys. As you probably noticed in the thumbnail and the title, today's video isn't about our Tesla Model Y. Well, in case you guys missed it, in our intro, right about here, there's another logo that appears in it other than Tesla. That's because when we created this channel, we did it with the intention of making this a tech review channel. Not just Tesla or just Apple, and then done in a way that wasn't over the top tech nerdy, but still has all the good stuff that the average person would want to know about. Sure, we love Tesla, and that's quite honestly what got this channel going. So there's no need to unsubscribe or anything like that. Don't do anything rash, because we will always be deep rooted in Tesla and have plenty of Tesla content for you guys. But we wanted to start mixing in some other type of awesome tech content for you. Maybe you'll find it entertaining and helpful. Maybe you won't. We really hope that you find it helpful. But today starts our first attempt at a tech review video on something other than Tesla. And if you came here looking for your usual dose of Model Y content, don't worry. I promise our next video will be back to Tesla related content. Make sure to drop us a comment below though, and let us know what you thought of it and what tech items you would like to see us review in a future video. Okay, so now the reason you came here. If you're anything like me, then you've been searching for the perfect pair of earbuds for a really long time. I mean, the ones that are out there are really good, but at a price point of $150 plus anymore, they should be near perfect and be able to do all the things you want them to do, like solid phone call functionality, a great music profile and sound, and to be comfortable enough to wear for a few hours, but also be able to stay in your ear during something like a workout or a run. Up to today, the current earbuds on the market have been able to check off some or most of the things on that list, like these AirPod Pros I have here. Pretty sure that search is finally over and that I found the perfect pair that checks off everything. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty details of the new Beats Fit Pros, which are impressive, we need to establish a baseline first. If you guys have watched any of our videos in the past, you know that I'm always making sure we clarify what we're comparing things to and how I use it on the day-to-day, because what you're coming from or looking for might be different. Now, over the recent few years, I've tried every type of high-quality earbud that has come out. All of the different generations of Apple AirPods, the Samsung Galaxy Buds, the different buds that Beats have come out with. I've even tried some third-party cheap buds that you'd find on Amazon. But out of all of them, my daily driver, the staple that I always seem to go back to, are the Apple AirPod Pros. They just work really well for almost everything I need them for. They sound really good with a solid balance of highs, mids, and low range tones for music. They also work really well and reliably for phone calls. They last pretty long battery-wise. They get about 4.5 hours of listening time, and then the charging case gives you another 24 hours of charging ability. And it makes it super easy and convenient to carry them in my pocket. They're even pretty comfortable to wear for a decent amount of time too, which I definitely do. So the Apple AirPod Pros have been great at all that. The only thing that they've let me down on time and time again is when I work out. I unfortunately am not one of those lucky people that has like the perfectly shaped ear canal where it gets the perfect seal and stays in there. I've heard of others not having this problem of it falling out as soon as you attempt a workout in any way, shape, or form. Well, for me, it happens without fail every single time. I've tried the third-party add-ons like the silicone wingtip slide-on things that you can buy for a few bucks from Amazon. And although they work well at keeping the AirPods snug in my ear, you have to constantly take them off and put them on because they don't fit back in the case with the wingtip on. So then you're always having to take the AirPod out, slide it on. Then when you're done your workout, you have to slide it off and put it back into the case. It's small and insignificant, but it's kind of a pain to have to do that every single time you want to work out. Thankfully, Beats came in and they solved that problem. Okay, first, let's talk about the sound. I mean, they're a Beats product, so the sound's gonna be awesome. You'll get the normal Beats by Dre sound profile, which has a heavy focus on mids and low sound profiles, and it tends to be pretty bassy, but overall sounds really good. I tend to listen to a lot of top 40, hip hop, rock music, so I actually prefer a sound profile like that, but your mileage may vary depending on the type of music that you enjoy. Regardless though, Beats by Dre are very well known for their amazing sounding headphones, and these new buds, they're no exception. Next on the checklist is its integration into the Apple world. For those out there that maybe don't already know this, Beats by Dre is actually owned by Apple, so it's no surprise that all the Beats products work really well in the Apple ecosystem. That said, it was really nice to see the Fit Pros get the upgrade to the Apple H1 chip. This is the same chip that's been in the AirPod Pros since they've come out, and now have been added into the new AirPod 3rd generation ones that allow them to literally be a sound extension to whatever Apple device you're using. They pair instantly and effortlessly. They have listening modes like active noise cancellation and transparency mode. They even have the latest and still underutilized feature of spatial audio, where they make it sound like you are moving around the music itself. So, like, if you're looking this way and the music sounds like it's right in front of you, like you're at a concert, but then if you turn your head this way, the music still sounds like it's over here. It sounds like the location of the music hasn't changed. It's really cool, but it's not used very much. There's a very limited selection in the Apple Music library that even takes advantage of this functionality. But most useful with the H1 chip is the ability to use Siri's functionality. She can read off your messages as they come in, or you can just ask her for whatever you need. Complete inclusion to the Apple ecosystem. Now, if you're an Android user, they have you covered as well. They make an app, Beats app, real original name, that gives you most of the same features, but for your Android device. Things like one-touch pairing, customizable controls, even the fit test, it'll all be there for you. Now let's take a look at what really makes this a home run, for me at least. The physical design and the fit. So first, they come in 4 different colors, Beats Black and Beats White, where the iconic Beats icon is featured on the side of the bud in their bright red color. And then they also have them in this sage gray, which is an interesting graphite-like gray, but with a very, very slight greenish tint to it. It's really subtle. And then they also have them in a pretty cool looking pastel purple with a black highlight on them. They come in a clamshell style charging case. The case has a USB-C charging port, which is a big win for those people that like to carry around just one cord with them, but it does not charge wirelessly, which is a bit of a miss. It's also a little on the bigger side too. I mean, look at it compared to the case on the AirPod Pro. The AirPods are definitely smaller and they're slimmer too. I mean, the Beats aren't terrible, definitely better than previous bud cases like the AirPods Pro. Man, those things were huge. But you'll definitely notice this more in your pocket than you do with the AirPods. When we open the case up though, we see the big game changer here. They went with this awesome wingtip design built right into the bud itself. It's like they took the idea of those third-party add-on wingtips that I mentioned before, but they built it right into the bud so it fits right in the case. It's awesome. Now, Beats tried something like this before with their AirPods Pro, but they had more of like an ear hook that went over your ear. It worked well and it kept them from falling out, but it was awkward to put on and it made them in the case huge. Plus, they weren't very comfortable to wear for long periods of time. These Fit Pros literally just pop right in the ear, and then the tip just slides right into the crease of your ear, like this. And then bam! They're locked in there and aren't going anywhere. It's pretty comfortable fit too, although it does feel like they just go a little more down in the ear canal than the AirPod Pros do. It's not a lot. It definitely isn't uncomfortable or anything like that. I just feel like they're slightly in there a little bit more. It's probably because of that wingtip design. It keeps it so secure in your ear that you don't really feel it slide out or budge at all. They also added a physical button to them too. The AirPod Pros use that haptic button thing on the stem that's not really a button and kind of weird to press to end a call or to pause your music real quick. This is an actual button with a tactile press. It feels kind of weird to be pressing it in towards your ear more to activate it, but it's really easy to press, so it's no problem. Yeah. Finally, that wingtip. I love it. Now, these things also have about 1.5 times the battery life of the AirPod Pros as well. The AirPod Pros get about 4.5 hours of listening time, or about 5 hours if you're not using one of the listening modes. The Beats Fit Pros, though, get about 6 hours of listening time, or 7 if you're not using any of those listening modes. The Beats case also gives you another 18 hours as well of charge time, but it's about 1 less full charge than what the AirPod Pros can do with their 24 hours. The Beats Fit Pros, though, have this really cool quick charge function that they call fast fuel, where if you put them in the charger case after you get that low battery alert, you can then plug them in and get 1 more hour of playback charge in just 5 minutes. That's a cool little splash charge feature. Okay, so the spec sheet sounds pretty solid and they look cool and all, but how well do they work in the real world though, right? Well, I've been using my pair that I picked up, the bright white ones. I've been using mine for about 2 weeks, pretty much exclusively, and they have been rock solid. I absolutely love using them to listen to music in pretty much any capacity. They sound awesome and they stay in my ear without fail. I've even done a 3-mile run with these things where I'm like sweating really good and they didn't wiggle even once. Very impressive, actually. I've also been using them for my work calls and they've done really well there too. The sound is great, no issues with the mics picking up my voice, no cracks or sound drops when I talk. They just work really well. I've also had no issues getting through long sessions with them for an extended period of time. The batteries, they've held up great. I will say though, after having them in my ear for about an hour or so, my ears did start to hurt a little bit. Not while I was wearing them so much, but when I went to go take them out, I had to do it slowly because I definitely had some ear canal fatigue. Now, I think this is partially because they do sit a little further down in the canal than what I'm used to. So I think that this will just get better over time, but I thought it was something still worth mentioning. The active noise cancellation is pretty decent. It's about the same as the AirPod Pros. Good, but not perfect. But they're earbuds, so how perfect can they really be? The transparency mode, though, is solid. It has a few external mics on the outside of the bud itself that it uses to mix in some of the ambient sounds around you into your music. And for me, this is the listening mode that I personally use the most, so it's great. All in all, they're a solid alternative to the AirPod Pros, and a cheaper one as well. The Beats Fit Pros come in at a price of only $199 compared to the $249 price tag of the AirPod Pros. So it's a nice little savings given that you're pretty much getting the same thing minus a slightly smaller case that charges wirelessly, but you're getting an earbud with a better sound profile, in my opinion, a slightly better battery life, a wingtip to make sure that it stays snugly in your ear no matter what you're doing, and all with the same Apple ecosystem goodness that you'd expect. I mean, they'll even show up in your Find My iPhone to make sure that you never lose them. So yeah, for me, these are a solid win. I'm going to keep using them exclusively for another week or two so I can see if the comfort thing gets any better as my ears get used to the different fit. If so, then I think I found my new go-to all-the-time earbuds of choice. If not, I'll probably just switch back to using my AirPod Pros for work, but I'm still going to keep using the Beats Fit Pros for all of my music listening and workouts for sure. Well, if you're still with me, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about the new video. Did you enjoy it, or are you just waiting for more Tesla content? Also, let me know what you think of the Beats Fit Pros. What earbud do you use? Is this gonna make you switch? Well, thanks again for watching, guys. If you found this helpful or enjoyed it at all, please smash that like button. And make sure you subscribe while you're down there too. Whether you're here for Tesla-related content or for the tech stuff, we got you covered either way. So go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss either of them. Thanks again, guys, and we'll see you next week with another one.